So welcome everyone. My name is Jessie Wong. I'm SheEO's Director of Activator Growth. Typically these calls are hosted by our wonderful activator Jenny Rudd, but I just got a text that she's locked out of her office for the next 20 minutes, so I'm jumping in here, but you'll see her very vivacious spirit joining us in the latter half of the call. So today's call is meant to be an overview of SheEO. A lot of guests on our call today. We're here to share a little bit about what SheEO is about, what radical generosity means, and it's a great opportunity to meet some of the activators and ventures in our community in New Zealand. And if you don't know what those words activator and venture means quite yet, we'll explain all of that in a moment. First off, though, we would like to start with a one-word check-in. So we have a new tool for that right now. And so one-word check-in for those guests who are new is essentially a one-word sentiment of how you're feeling in this very moment. And so if you open the chat, I've added a link. If you click on that link, you'll see a place to pop in your one word. And then at the same time, I'm going to, I already see someone shared one. I'm going to share my screen and we can see this word cloud populate in real time. So let's see here. We have perky, excited, ready. 3 people have shared their one word so far. 7, 11, oh, look at that, refreshing. And how this word map works is that the words that are shared multiple times grow in size. So we see many of us are excited on this call. Optimistic, connected, grateful, refreshed, learning, mindful, curious, ready. 25 have shared so far. If you'd like to continue sharing, the link is in the chat. So thanks everyone for sharing the one words. Our format for our call today is that we're going to, in a moment, turn it over to SheEO Founder Vicki Saunders.
I'm Vicki. I'm the founder of SheEO. Jess, you froze, darling.
Yep. Thank you.
Do you want me to jump in, or you still got?
Yeah. So I'll just do really quickly the overview for the call today, and then we'll hear from Vicki. So Vicki's the founder. She's going to provide an overview of SheEO, the model, our impact, and our community. We're then going to hear from 2 of our amazing SheEO New Zealand ventures, Beany and Better Packaging Co. We'll then hear from a couple of activators, and then the remainder of the call, we're going to go into breakout groups to practice ask and give. And so with that, we'll turn it over to Vicki.
All right. Great. Okay, let's go here, present. Everyone see my screen? Yep. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's great to see you on this call. I'm just so thrilled, first of all, to be talking to a country that's wide open. Congratulations, like the only country in the world that has like solved all this COVID stuff. So thank you for New Zealand. We love you. The model at SheEO, this model was brought to New Zealand by Teresa Gatung and her amazing crowd of women who I met in San Francisco several years ago. And when we first met, I was telling her about this concept of radical generosity, and she said, New Zealand women are radical generosity. You have to come here next after North America. So we are a community of women who are working on the world's to-do list, which is our term for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. These are goals that were signed on by all governments around the world. And it's a completely new approach to supporting women on their own terms. And we come together with this belief that we have everything that we need in this community to help everybody thrive. And our original focus was to fund women-led ventures, so women entrepreneurs who are working on critical issues of the world. And what's happened is it started with getting money into the hands of women innovators, because 51% of the world's population only gets 2% of the capital, which is completely impossible statistically without massive biases built into the system. So we've done a complete revamping and a redesign of a model to get money into the hands of women innovators. But one of the unintended consequences, a good one, of this model is that it's now become this very robust community of everybody helping each other, not just about helping the ventures, but all of us supporting one another. And so in this community, we have people that show up as funders. If you become an activator, your money is going into a pot to be loaned out. Advisors, coaches, mentors, we can all be customers if we choose to. We can open doors for these ventures and for each other. And maybe very importantly to New Zealand, we're in 5 countries around the world, and our goal is to be in all countries that are excited about this model. So we're an export opportunity where we see interesting ventures that come up in New Zealand. We want to plug you into our other countries. So trying out a new infographic today. This is actually a 4-slide piece that takes you on the journey that is normally all together in one. But the activation is $1,100 or $92 a month. And $1,000 of that money goes into a fund to loan out to ventures. So it goes directly into a separate bank account, and it is loaned out at 0% interest, paid back over 5 years, and then loaned out again to ventures that are working on the world's to-do list. And your $100 goes into our operations that is invested in our community, on building relationships, and shifting our thinking to figure out how to create a better world. And on the right-hand side, this is better if I'm flowing, but we're just trying it out on slides today, so see how it goes. Your $100 literally gives you access to a weekly activator call, an Ask Give app, and we're going to practice this a little bit when we get into breakout rooms, where you can ask for support and give support to one another. It's like this matching web app that's very simple to use. When the ventures have applied, this is going to happen in the fall or in September in New Zealand, and you will be voting for the entrepreneurs that you would like to support. Everybody gets a vote, and people host voting parties. It's a really fun process. And then your summit is going to be in October in New Zealand, where the ventures that you've selected will be announced. We also have an online community where everybody can connect with one another, see who else is in the network, search for people and skills that you might be looking for. And we have a series of podcasts, learning labs online, so you can learn all kinds of different skills and also learn about the ventures, learn about one another. And then we have a magazine that was just launched and created by Jenny Rudd, currently locked out of her office, who will tell you all about that. The kinds of ventures that we're funding, you're going to hear from in just a minute. We have 2 of them on the call today. This is our information about the ventures. If you are an entrepreneur on this call today and would like to apply, you need to be 51% majority women-owned, women-led, working on the world's to-do list, and be registered in New Zealand as a company. And there's all kinds of support that comes in this community. It's not just a 0% interest loan, but you get access to all of these activators and their networks for support. You get coaching. You come together in a retreat. It's a really very robust ecosystem. And finally, globally, we're at 5,000 activators across the 4 countries we're in, and just started our 5th in the UK. $5 million loaned out, 68 ventures who have been funded. I was thinking about this yesterday. As far as I know, we are the only global all-woman venture portfolio, and every single company is working on critical issues, the SDGs. We have 72 countries around the world that have reached out to replicate this model, so we have a huge pipeline coming at us, and our goal is to get to 1 million women in a $1 billion fund as soon as possible. These are some, our portfolio is very, very broad. So the ventures that have been selected by activators and women in this community are across all the different goals for the SDGs. So you can see a little chart here. And here are some of the ventures that are in the community. And I think we'll now move over and we'll hear directly from them instead of me talking about them, from Sue and from Rebecca. Back to you, Jessie.
Perfect, thanks Vicki. So first up, we're going to hear from Sue from Beany. Turning it over to you, Sue, and a very warm welcome.
Thanks, Jessie. Thanks, Vicki. And it's so lovely to be here this morning. So my name is Sue DeVievra, and I'm the CEO of Beany, or as Jenny Rudd likes to call me, Sue Beany, just to make it easier for everybody to remember who I am. So Beany offers online accounting services to small business owners in New Zealand. So we're not zero, we're competing against other accountants. We were a 2019 venture finalist, and thank goodness for that. So through our involvement with SheEO last year, we attracted, first of all, the investment from other SheEO activators. So Teresa Gatting came in. Kirsty Reynolds was a massive help in helping us organize our funding round. So we closed out our round at the end of 2019 with $1.5 million in the bank. And like I say, with the hindsight now of what's happened with COVID-19, the difference that has made is, as you can imagine, phenomenal, because it would be extremely hard to close out this year, I think, for us. So we've been extremely fortunate in that regard. I think it's also just worth talking about what happened after that funding round as well, and what happened through COVID for us and our interaction with SheEO, because it has been giving and giving to Beany all the way through this time. It's been quite phenomenal to me. I've been putting asks up quite regularly, and the asks seem to be always answered. So a shout out to Helen Fitness and Kristen Wunsch, who helped me with market research. Shout out to Elizabeth Brown, who started, she's an activator, started out helping me informally to help us articulate the story of our company. And now we're in a professional relationship. And I just wanted to let guests know that I think it's interesting how we move through the different kinds of relationship. I started as a venture, now I'm an activator. I ask, I'm also been in the privileged position of being able to give. So I've been talking to ventures in Canada to help them with cash flow forecasting. Julie Trell in Sydney shouted me a how to be better on Zoom piece of training. So it really is global. And I think that's, it's an amazing network. Excuse me. There's also a bit of a shout out to Jenny Rudd as another activator and investor in Beany. So she just told me a couple of weeks ago that my image needed an upgrade. Gotta love Jenny's honesty, right? So she shouted me a photo shoot in the Mount and hair and makeup and the whole thing. So that's, to me, kind of sums up SheEO. It kind of crosses all the boundaries. I've got customers who are SheEO. I've got suppliers who are SheEO. I've got investors who are SheEO. And now I'm also giving back as much as I can as well. I'm sure that's my 3 minutes up. I'm very excited to be in the call. And thank you, everybody who's activated. And if you're thinking about activating, really do join in. It's an amazing network.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sue Beany, Sue from Beany. Next up, we have Bex from Better Packaging Co. Turning it over to you, Bex.
Thank you. I'm Bex, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Better Packaging Co. Kate, my business partner, and I, plus our amazing team, produce a range of sustainable packaging with a focus on the e-commerce industry. We have compostable courier satchels, bubble mailers, labels, hygiene liners, and poly bags, and lots more happening. We were a SheEO finalist in 2019 along with Beany. Good to see you, Sue. The Cheer Sisters, Guardian Angel Security, and the Hello Cup. What an amazing group we've got. It's really hard for me to describe the many ways SheEO has supported our business. To be honest, what initially attracted us was the interest-free loan, as we're at such a high growth phase. Our finances just couldn't keep up. While that has been invaluable, the loan was such a small part of what SheEO has meant to us. I don't even really know where to start. The coaching sessions with MJ, where you touch on anything from futuristic strategy ideas to, Bex, I think you need more help around the home. The introductions at the SheEO Summit were incredible. We met our PR agent, Niki Schuck. We were introduced to House Stationery, who have become like a really large customer of ours. We were giving advice on trading in China, and we met with NZTE, who ended up getting one of their team, Anna, in our office on secondment to us for 6 months, which was at the most critical time in our business. I mean, where could all of those things happen in one day? It's just incredible. You know, but the loan was great. It actually meant that we could hold off on our investment for another 6 months, ensuring that our business was in a better place when we did finally get investment, which was earlier this year. And of course, SheEO Activators were included in that investment round. The support has just been incredible. And then there's the team that SheEO leads. It's like this group of angels who are supporting every move you make. These tiny little acts that, Vicki, don't go unnoticed when you forward our posts or like or comment on them, through to being able to pick up the phone at any time. And I know Kate and I have rung you when we've had really big things happening that we've just needed some sound advice on, and you know that that advice and support you're getting is completely in your favour. It's like a family member supporting you. And then there's my SheEO sisters in the 2019 ventures. We're on this great chat where we can throw out anything, or you share something that you've learned, and I think that's been really invaluable during lockdown. You can say, look, we've just applied for this and we got the funding straight away, and to just have that really non-competitive way of interacting with other businesswomen who are on the same journey as you is just incredible. I've always had this feeling that business could be run differently and that you don't have to be a non-profit to do good. And it's something that sat with me for years. And SheEO has given me and my business partner, Kate, the confidence and support to run a business in the way that we've always wanted to, in a way we could only dream of. One that supports our team, the environment, our suppliers, and our customers in a sustainable way. And I'm incredibly proud of the work we're doing. And I feel I'm exactly where I should be doing it. And a big part of that is due to the support that we've received from SheEO. And so the great news is that we're now in a position to start giving back as well, and start putting, rather than always asking on the SheEO app, we're now able to offer support. And so if there's anyone out there who wants to trial sustainable packaging, please get in touch, or want some advice on how to get set up online. We're always here and ready to give back. Thanks, SheEO.
Thank you so much, Bex. Next up, we're going to hear from a few activators about their experience in the community. So first up, we have Niki Schuck, who Sue mentioned in her testimonial. So over to you, Niki.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Can you hear me? Yep, cool. I've been an activator since SheEO started in New Zealand, and I really can't encourage you enough to get involved if you're looking at being an activator. I wanted to just sort of talk through, because I've only got a minute, just some of the highlights, just very quickly. And I think the first one from a personal perspective is just that immense feeling of satisfaction that you get from being an activator, where you're actually helping women entrepreneurs. It truly is a really warm feeling to know the good that you can do just with $1,100. Another real highlight for me is the summit day. Outside of the networking opportunities that happen there, it is just such a buzzy day. And I really always come away from that day feeling incredibly energized and really motivated, not only about the good stuff that's happening, but also for our own business, NSPR. Another great thing that SheEO offers is the Ask Give platform, which you'll get a chance to experience when we go into the breakout rooms. That's truly such a gift, both in terms of giving and receiving. And another great thing that we get through the summit day, but it has also started last week, is MJ's Pearls of Wisdom, I call them. Last week it was all about deep listening, but yeah, she's truly a very special person, and to be able to get access to her on a reasonably regular basis is pretty exciting as an activator. And finally, I think it's just the network. You just meet the most incredible women. Through lockdown, we have had some capacity within our communications PR business, and we've been giving back to a number of the ventures, and that's been immensely satisfying. But it's just the support you get through the different women that you meet, and then can connect further with email addresses. So it's a very special family, and I hope I have encouraged you to definitely consider it.
Thank you so much, Niki. Next up, we have Vanisa.
Morena tātou, kia ora wahine mā, ko Vanisa Dhiru toko wengwa. I've been an activator for the last 2 years and have really enjoyed being part of the network. My day job is in the kind of area of philanthropy. I look after the community program at Internet New Zealand, and we're like the wholesalers of .nz, where you buy your domain names, and the profits of that go back into the community. So I've been really interested in philanthropy, how people with privilege can give. And I tautoko everything that Niki just said, who's stolen what feels like all my content. So I might share a little bit about why I have stayed in the network, because I think one thing is joining and then the other bit is staying. Over the last few months, it has been hard to understand and try and find ways to give back. We have sat at home and said to ourselves, what can we do more? What can we do to change the situation? And I think by being on these calls on a weekly basis, it's given me the motivation to see that I can give and do that giving back. So other than meeting new people from across the country and at times internationally, part of what has given me that extra push to stay involved is knowing that I can give in other ways other than some cash and some time. We've been able to support the ventures kind of as consumers, use our buying power to its best advantage and be able to showcase some of those great ventures that have been led by great women across Aotearoa. So do join us and ka kite.
Thank you, Vanisa. And the last activator we'll hear from is Jacqui Thomas. Welcome, Jacqui.
Hi there. Hi to you all, and I will try and say something a bit different to what Niki and Vanisa have already said, although some of probably what I was going to say is very similar. I just became an activator at the beginning of this year, so a relative newbie. Having said that, I'd been aware of SheEO and it kind of had been on my radar as something that I wanted to get involved with. Sort of over Christmas time though, it became sort of more front and centre as I was researching a book about women in business, and a couple of the women that I interviewed for that were involved either as successful ventures that had been recipients of SheEO, and then also eventually talking to Teresa as well. So it became very apparent that my values in my own business and as a woman in business were very much sort of the SheEO philosophy, and it was definitely a network that I wanted to get involved with and contribute to and be a part of in some way. I have to say, in all honesty, and what may be a stumbling block for others, especially in these times of kind of where cash flow is a bit of an issue, that perhaps the $1,100 had been a bit of a stumbling block in the past. So I activated on the basis of the $92 a month membership, which I would encourage anybody to do, because really that $92 a month does make it a lot more doable from a cash flow perspective. And I know many of us are sort of having to be really careful with that cash flow right now. So for the $92 a month as a business expense, it does become, in my view, a bit of a no-brainer. And it just makes it, you know, so much easier and a bit more accessible for perhaps people that would be looking at it and thinking, oh, can we really afford that right now? In terms of benefits, something that I wasn't prepared for was the fact that the whole concept of radical generosity extends to us all. And that was a really welcome benefit that I just wasn't expecting. That I got involved thinking that I've been here to support others. And I was, you know, just very pleasantly surprised by how much each and every one of us has an opportunity to get out of the network, just in terms of supporting each other, even just getting inspired, just knowing that you've got that network of like-minded women that you can tap into every week if you want to, or anytime really, has been invaluable. So for anybody who thinks that, you know, there's some like-minded people in here and they might be a bit like you, then I'd encourage you all to get involved. It's been fantastic so far, and I'm looking forward to the first round where I get to vote and have a bit more input. Yeah, exactly. Yay.
Hi there. Thanks, Jacqui. My name is Jenny Rudd. I've just literally hopped on. I was supposed to hop on at 9. Hi! But I couldn't because I didn't bring my keys to the office. So my husband there had to leave his scrambled eggs and come down and bring my keys. But I'm here now, and I just heard the end of Jacqui talking, which was so nice, and I hear all the ventures have spoken. So now we're going to go to breakout groups. And so the way that breakout groups work is that Jessie will randomly assign us into small groups of 4 or 5 people. And there'll be a facilitator in each group to manage it. And the structure of the groups is like this. We usually spend about 15 minutes chatting. And so there'll be about 3 minutes for each person. And you introduce yourself, tell everybody a bit about yourself. And then we do a little ask give session so that we can give our guests a flavor of how we operate in SheEO network. And the purpose of ask give is to show that everybody wants to give something and no one's brave enough to ask for that help, but actually they really should, because everybody really does want to give their help. So if you've got something that you really like help with, it can be anything at all, then you must ask for it. And if you've got something to give, please offer it. And if you've got the thing to give and someone else in your group wants it, do say. Don't hold back and think, oh, I feel a bit embarrassed taking it, because it's not how it works. People only give because they really want someone else to take it. So Jessie, do you want to tell us who the facilitators are?
Yes, so we have 8 facilitators today. You'll be in a group of 5 or 6. Our facilitators are Jenny, who you just met, Vicki, Tanya Chang, Kirsty Reynolds, Chelsea Miller, Janet McDonald, Trish Stone Street, and or Vanisa Dhiru. And just a couple of notes to add to what Jenny's already shared. One is that if you'd like to keep in touch with your group after our call today, please feel free to share your email address or LinkedIn in the chat. And the last thing is that we'd like each group to come back to the main room with a 3-word summary to summarize the conversation that you had. So remember, I'll be sending out some reminders over the course of your breakout group, but remember to come back with a 3-word summary and someone from your group to share it. So it is 9:28 right now. We will meet back here at 9:50. So you'll have 22 minutes in your breakout groups. I'm opening up the rooms now, and you'll see a button at the top of your screen to go into your breakout group. Enjoy. We'll see you back here soon.
Hello. Oh, welcome, Jessie. You're even joining our room to start with. Awesome. So as Jessie explained, we'll go around, do some quick introductions of who we are, a little bit about ourselves and what we do for a day job, anything interesting you'd like to share. Let us know if you're a guest or an activator or a venture. And then we'll just hold off on the ask gives just to start with. We'll just do our introductions, and then I can explain a little bit more about that if anyone has any questions. So my name's Chelsea Miller. I've been involved with SheEO since the start as an activator. So I found out about SheEO at the Worldwide Women Conference in Auckland in 2017, which feels like forever ago now. And the moment Vicki got up on stage and introduced the concept, I was in. So from there, I have activated for 2 years, had a break last year, and then as a couple of the activators have said this morning, I've opted in this year with the $92 a month due to cash flow. So I own a rural social media and marketing business, and I'm based here in the mighty Manawatu. I actually live 20 minutes out of the main city, Palmerston North at the beach. So I've been pretty lucky during lockdown to be able to get out and get some fresh air and walk and see nobody actually. So that's been pretty good, but I'm pretty excited to be back in town, actually starting to work and starting to help the primary industries communicate their stories, because they have continued to keep going during lockdown, which has meant we have been very lucky in being able to keep the business afloat. And yeah, she's been some busy times, but exciting times at the same time. And having these weekly SheEO calls have been honestly a lifesaver, because you have weeks that have been down and they've come around you and really supported you, and then you've been the person who's really around and supported them. So it's been amazing. I don't know how long we've been going, Jessie, but it feels like 10 weeks or so, 12 weeks.
12 weeks, yeah.
Go. Yeah. So so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it off to the person to my left, and then if you can do the same once you've finished giving a quick introduction, then that'll allow us to go around the room. So Fiona, you are on my left. Welcome.
Oh, excellent, because I'm way on the left. Anyway, my name's Fiona Tomlinson. I have got a business called the Damson Collection. We make preserves, condiments, antipasti, and a beautiful world-class. We just won over lockdown. We won world's best fruit liqueur in the UK-based competition. I know, go me, which is really exciting. I am an activator. I have only been an activator probably for 2 or 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months. I didn't get on as many calls over lockdown as I would have liked, because I seem to be, I was overwhelmed with the amount of support from NZTE and a whole lot of business groups as well. However, I regret not getting on the SheEO calls. Yeah, so I guess I'm based in Hawke's Bay. We are sold through a lot of the conserves, like preserves, and that are sold through supermarkets. And I am just about to start exporting in different markets for different products, and the liqueur looks like it's going overseas as well, into Australia initially. So I feel a bit overwhelmed today, a little bit scattered, so you'll have to forgive my fragmented brain.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, that's exciting news. You sound like you've been extremely busy, and honestly, if we can get our hands on that Damson liqueur, that'd be great, because I've been looking
You can buy it online.
Perfect. Do you want to throw the link to your website down in the chat, because I'm going straight there. I don't know about anybody else, but then we can share that afterwards. I've got a few nods. Awesome. All right, Fiona, do you want to kick it on to somebody else?
Oh, can I pick Jane, please?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jane Gray. I'm a guest today. The business I was running prior to COVID-19 was Cycle Blend. So we manufactured and exported, as well as built for our own local activations, blender bikes, stationary blender bikes. And we were doing heaps of work for local community groups and councils, as well as some major brands in New Zealand, likes of Spark and Fitbit and Ryman Health, and at the Auckland Marathon and around the Bays, those types of events. It was fantastic. I was having a glorious time. COVID-19, I now haven't done an activation since February. So there's been a few tears and a few tantrums in the last few months. Very grateful for the government's support, financial support. And now I am trying to go back to my old expertise, which was software testing. So each day I'm applying for another job to try and get myself back in the income earning arena. I've never in my life been out of work for this long, and especially when it hasn't been my own choice. So I really feel for everybody out there. It's tough. It's a very tough time, but I'm privileged. I have a partner who's still able to work in his main role, and a puppy that keeps me company and out of bed every morning. So yeah, that's me. I'll pass it on to Sandy.
Yeah, I'm green. Hi all, this is my first SheEO connection, although I've been getting the emails for probably a couple of years and never done anything about it. So it's time to go, what is this all about and who are these awesome people? Yeah, there's already been a few that I really want to connect with, so anybody wants to connect with me, do so on LinkedIn or otherwise. So what about me? I live on the North Shore of Auckland, home office like we've all got at the moment. And I too, like I think it was you, Fiona, you mentioned you've changed things since, was it Fiona? One of you. You've changed things since COVID. So perhaps I could talk pre-COVID and then now. It seems to be the way we talk about things these days. I had, and it's still running, a company called Tide Solutions. That's TYDE Solutions. So that company has a few arms. It was a program I developed for motivating youth, action plan.
This current situation.
And when you say young people, what age bracket we're talking?
Probably sort of young professionals, university students, and we'll probably attract a few high school students as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
the webinar is for the Central Economic Development Agency. I was born and bred in Manawatu, so I sort of helped them out as one of their leaders, supporting learning and opportunities, networking back home. I live in Wellington, actually, by the way.
Can I make one suggestion?
Oh, please.
So if you have access, SurveyMonkey is free, and go to a couple of different school groups in your age category and ask questions. What do you want to do? What do you want to see? And ask them. So beforehand, you or in your LinkedIn, or if you do a Facebook group or whatever group that you want to attract, you can be asking that same question. And then you'll get more people to bring friends to come to the webinar too, or the Zoom meeting.
Good idea. Thank you.
Vanessa, I've got young people at tap at my house. They seem to.
Fantastic.
And you know, they chat a lot to me. I don't you know, band-aids on my ears. So what I'm hearing a lot of, actually, just to feed it back, my son's 21, so and he's sort of got his own area downstairs for the lounge. So we've got a spare room down there, so there's often a spare body on the couch and one in the bedroom. But there's a few young men in particular, I think, in his group who there seems to be such high levels of anxiety in that age group. And a real lack of confidence. And you know, he's got a couple of friends who, you know, they've done some landscaping and they've done some things, but they feel a bit lost. And I think that really affects their confidence. I mean, he's got a couple of good, you know, really nice young guys, and they just can't seem to lift them because I don't think they feel worthy enough, and they don't know what they want to do, so they feel a bit useless, and they don't feel like they can apply for things because they're too scared, really. So I just wonder what needs to be done to give them that comfort to attend your webinar, actually, so that you know, I mean, I can ask, I mean, I'm sure I'll see some young people this evening or tomorrow, so, you know, I could certainly ask them, but I think it would be great because I talk to them and think, gosh, they're such lovely young guys. Why aren't they out there doing things, you know?
Awesome. Well, look, I don't want to take up too much more of our time together. So we can use the chat. If you've got any other ideas for me, please throw them in. But that's an example of something that you can use as an ask or give during these sessions. So is there anyone else that has got something that they'd like to ask or give?
Can I just say something for the picture? Like these young people, this is exactly why I've created the mindset program that I've created, because I feel like a lot of the kids, as soon as things don't go exactly the way they planned, they get a little bit off course. They just don't know what to do, and they feel a little bit lost and a little bit unsure about things. So I'll send you the link to the mindset challenge, and if you wouldn't mind putting it in front of them and seeing what they think and seeing if it could help them, because it's a huge help with their mindset and with getting some direction on what they want to do in life and where they want to go that resonates with them. I think people get so much about thinking so much about what society expects of them, so rather than what they want themselves, which is huge. They think they're letting people down, or they should be doing this or should be doing that, or so I'll send you the link and see if I'd really appreciate their feedback on it too. That would be amazing.
Yeah, no, I'll put it out on Facebook. I'm connected with a lot of them on Facebook. I have this giggle now.
Rachel, I'd like that too, please.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, well, because one of my asks for today is I'm really struggling with putting it out on social media, and I've had a PR company.
Contact me. I would be happy to give. That's my
gift. Thank you so much.
It's my gift to all of you. I do social media so as if I'm you, as opposed to being me.
Thank you so much. That'd be amazing.
So that's my gift to all of you.
Thank you.
Rochelle, if you're able to put a link or something that we can share in social, throw it into the chat.
Okay, yep, I'll grab it and I'll do that. Thank you so much.
And if you want to reach out to me, because I'm in a different time zone than you, I'll put my email, but I'm in, my first name and my last name is my LinkedIn. So you can go, I have a big LinkedIn presence.
I'll find you. Thank you so much. I'll find you.
If I could just jump in and we'll be asking from today. So I gave a little bit of context previously, sort of in my introduction about the company and what we're about. So we have been around for about 2 years. And as you can appreciate, with a lot of other companies, sort of COVID had been a very interesting time for us, being a very new business as well. So what we recruit in is helping New Zealanders return home to the New Zealand market after spending time overseas. So we really see the value in that sort of overseas experience, and as I say, sort of helping them transition back into the market. Me being from the UK myself, and my colleagues and the director as well have both lived overseas, so we absolutely can talk to the challenges that are faced with transitioning your career back to a different country. And so if you have any recommendations or anybody in your network that you think we would be able to help with their recruitment or advice, market insights, and whether that's client side or candidate side, so if you know anybody currently looking for work, and even if we're able to offer CV advice, market insights, anything like that, would really, really appreciate any recommendations or connections within your network.
Abigail, which areas of New Zealand are you working in?
So we are based in Auckland. About 90% of our client base is in Auckland. We do have contacts down in Wellington and Tauranga as well. So we're slowly but surely sort of venturing out in those areas, but you know, sort of being relatively new, we're really creating our base here in Auckland for now.
And are you focusing on a certain industry, or you are open to kind of all? Because I know with a lot of recruiters, they're quite specific. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So we cover a very, very broad range of industries. So we've all got our own
talent in our team. It blows me away sometimes. Hi, Jessie. You coming to make sure we're behaving?
Yes. Just kidding.
So we are about to move to the next person. Let's get a Michael. And do you want to introduce yourself and then tell us a bit about yourself, and then an ask and a give?
Sure, thank you. So yeah, I'm Michael and I'm the founder of Foodprint, which is an app where eateries can sell surplus and imperfect food to prevent it from becoming wasted.
Oh, look at Samantha's face.
I love what you're doing. I love it. I've seen it.
Oh, awesome. So yeah, it's not like you know, bottom of the pail food that's past its best or anything. It's like beautiful sandwiches and cakes and salads that you'd buy from your local cafes, but just, you know, hospitality, and especially post COVID, is really inconsistent, and so it's really hard for them to kind of plan. So it's sold through the app at a discount, and it means that the eateries are able to retain some value in that food rather than throwing their profits in the bin. So we are a year old. We just celebrated our first birthday a couple of weeks ago. We are present in Auckland, and we did launch in Dunedin just before COVID hit, so it's been kind of a rocky start down there, but kind of getting there. So I am planning to apply in this round to become a venture. I was introduced to SheEO, thanks, from Chelsea Miller, who's one of the Activators, and I met her through an accelerator that I'm currently in called Sprout, which is one of the many projects that Chelsea works on. So yeah, I think that kind of covers me and Foodprint. So my ask, I have two asks today. I'm like getting better at practicing asks. So that's, in fact, maybe that's my third one, is just practicing asks. So I would love it if you guys could download the app and find something, if you're based in Auckland especially, find something to buy over the next couple of weeks, rescue some food, and let me know what your experience has been like. I would really love that. And then I would also love it if you could share Foodprint through your networks. I can put my email in the chat, and if anyone is keen to share, I can write you a blurb. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Woo! I can write up a little blurb and send you a picture that you can share around. I would really appreciate that. And then I was also, given that I'm looking to apply, I would love to just have kind of a one-on-one chat with one of the ventures. So maybe Natalia specifically, if you could intro me to Bex and or Kate. I'd love just to kind of have a one-on-one, before I submit my application, and just sort of hear it on that level, rather than obviously this call is amazing, but yeah, that's what I was hoping to do.
Do you mean that you want help? Do you mean that you want help with your application, or whether it's worth doing?
I just want to chat with one of the ventures and just get a really good understanding to make sure that it is the right thing for me to be doing right now.
So I think I would recommend that you speak to Bex at Better Packaging and Sue at Beany. Who did she talk earlier before I was fiddling about with keys? They would be the two people that I would definitely talk to. Who else, Jessie, is there in the food realm that would be good for Michael to talk to?
I have kind of reached out to the Cheer sisters as well. So I might
and then
go back
on that front, so once you've chatted to them, if you want any help or any feedback before you send your application in, feel free to contact me. I've put my thing in there, jenny@unomagazine.co.nz, because I run through quite a lot. I've read every single application that's ever been made in New Zealand. I love them. I love reading people's ideas. So I'm very happy to help you with that and give you some feedback so you can do the best job possible.
Awesome. And I'll definitely be taking you up on your offer of sharing Foodprint through your network.
Yeah.
So we'll be in touch later today anyway.
Yeah, do that. That's so interesting. That's so cool. And we got Samantha Ryan.
Hello. I'll keep it quick. I know we've got about 1 minute. So I've been working in startups and specifically in the social enterprise space for my entire last 10 years. And at the moment I am head of product at a really incredible app which is trying to redirect millions of dollars in merchant transaction fees to local charities. So it's like pay wave but for good. I have just launched my media company, which includes a podcast, and that podcast in 5 episodes I've managed to grow my audience to 35,000 people, which is incredible. And it's really like my passion project, where I talk about how to build great businesses that are profitable and with purpose, because I really believe in people doing work that they love. My ask is, because I have to go, I'm interviewing Vicki tomorrow. Please, can you message me and tell me one thing that you would ask her or you want to hear from her?
Well, Jessie, that's your job, Jessie.
Yeah.
You can ask Vicki all the questions you want through Samantha.
Yeah. And my give is, if you need, my background is in user experience. If you need, like I was just thinking about you, Michael, if you want any UX help or discussion or anything like that, hit me up and I can.
Welcome back, Christine. Everyone else will be joining us shortly. You're on mute. Did you accidentally join?
Yeah, I accidentally pushed return. So here I am.
Oh, good.
Rudely left my group before we were actually finished.
No worries. I'm sure they'll understand. So everyone is joining us now. Welcome back, everyone, to the main room. Passing it back to you, Jenny.
Thanks, Jessie. That was so good. It was so exciting in our group to have a mixture of guests and activators that we've already met and an activator that I haven't met. And so I trust everybody had a good time doing that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go from each group. I hope you remembered which number your breakout room was. I'm going to read out your breakout room. And then Jessie just told me who's going to do the three-word call out, and I didn't record it and didn't write it down. So hopefully you know in your group who it is. So breakout route 1, what's your 3 words that summarize? Put your hand up if you're in breakout room 1.
Why don't I jump in with the facilitator?
Yeah, you do it.
Jenny, you go first.
What? No, Samantha Ryan's doing ours. We were breakout room 2.
Okay, yep, that's me. I would say generosity, laughter, and synchronicity.
Beautiful. Vicki's group.
What was it? Breakout room 3. I think that's us. So I would put that we were very connected and open-minded. There's a lot of helping hands and just sort of, like you said, generosity everywhere, and also very diverse. We all have different backgrounds and different things we're working towards, but everyone wanted to help all the same, no matter where we were from.
Thank you, Tanisha. Tanya's group.
We didn't get as far as the 3 words, so I'm going to take an attempt to summarize our conversation. And I think maybe healthy, wellness, and fresh.
Awesome. And if you can follow Jenny's lead and share your 3 words in the chat, that would be perfect. Next up, we have Kirsty's group.
Authenticity, potential, and purpose.
Thanks, Ellie. Chelsea Miller's group.
We had welcoming, inspiring, and caring.
Thank you, Fiona. Janet McDonald's group.
So we're having such a great time. We're just discussing it. We got kicked out. So we came to no borders and connections.
Thank you, Janet.
One world. The no borders was one world.
One world. There you go.
Love that. Trish Stonestreet's group.
Yeah, we got the 3 words, but didn't nominate anyone other than me. So here we are. We got welcoming, sharing, and inspiring. For all of us, not just the guests. Yeah.
Thank you, Trish. And last but not least, we have Vanisa's group.
We had inspiring, global connectedness, and generosity.
Alrighty, back to you, Jenny.
I'm still typing. Gosh, that's so impressive. I love that. It feels so broad, because before we used to do these activator calls, started about 3 months ago, we felt like we were very just New Zealand, and it also felt quite Auckland centric. But now there's so many more comments about no borders, one world, and having things. And we also have a lot of the people from Canada in the group, like Tanya and Jessie and Vicki, people from, and often we have Hannah Cree, who are all in like inspiring. So now what we usually do is we share some highlights from the breakout rooms. Is that what we're doing, Jessie? We share some highlights out of the breakout rooms. Oh, no, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pass to, we've done the 3-word share outs. Instead, we're going to pass to Teresa, who's going to talk to us about activating and applying.
Yeah, it's amazing to sit here in my favourite place in the world, my lovely home at Waihi Beach, and think about what we have jointly created over the last 3 years with SheEO. From me sitting in a room with my dear friend Barbara Garbler and Lindy Nelson, and hearing Vicki speak in San Francisco all those years ago, bringing her to New Zealand, all of us who are part of World Women, and now thinking that at the start of lockdown it was all going to have to wait a year, and then to blossom, not just for the support for the ventures, but for each other. So my ask is really straightforward. The first is to encourage the women you know who are running companies that could benefit from SheEO to apply to be a venture. Venture applications close on July 14th, and to apply, as Vicki mentioned, has to be woman-owned, 51%, led by a woman, usually the founder, has to have revenue between 50,000 and 2 million, and it has to be doing something good for the country, the community, the world, able to scale up, to take advantage of the fact that this is New Zealand wide, but beyond borders, it is now global. It could be any industry, it can be any product, and it's no dragon's den. You know, we trust the wisdom of the women who have activated, so we get to choose. And it's easy to apply. Excuse me, I've just got something in my eye. It's easy to apply. Just go to the website and you answer the 10 questions. So that's the first ask. Within the networks of the 42 women on this call, there'll be so many ventures who could potentially be part of this. And my second ask is for those of you who are guests to consider activating. As Jacqui said, it's as easy as $90 a month. It's less than a gym membership. And it brings so much joy to your life, so much joy. It's incalculable and practical help to those of you who are business people, definitely. And then you get to be part of supporting the ventures and being part of their journey. So it's just tremendous to give, but in return to get back even more than you could imagine. So that's really it from me. It's a bleak day here, but it's always great at the end of these calls to have been part of this hour. And you know, really, these calls have been even more popular out of lockdown than in lockdown, because they've gone to being something we put in our diary because we all want to keep the connection live. So that's it from me. Ka kite anō.
Thank you so much, Teresa. So yes, I think just to recap, it's for ventures. If you know someone that fits that bill, get them to apply. And if they're struggling to apply and it feels difficult to apply, get them to ask for help. Email jessie@sheeo.world or me, jenny@unomagazine.co.nz, or just look online and contact one of the ventures. They're not doing anything at the moment, so they've got plenty of time to help you. So if you want help, there's loads of help there. It's not like a competition where no one's going to help you. And definitely, please reactivate. If you haven't activated, please reactivate. And also, there's another one on here. Share your feedback on today's event. There's Jessie's just put a little link in there. We would really love your feedback. That's what SheEO is built on. And you'll notice when you join the community that your feedback actually does change the shape of things quite significantly. So thank you very much. And so Samantha Laidlaw says she's only learned about SheEO last week and she's really enjoyed it. So I hope we see you on here again, Samantha. Jessie or Vicki, do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, so we'll end with a group photo and then a one-word checkout with our new tool. So if you've been on one of these calls before, you know the routine. We'd love to share a screenshot of our call today to capture some of the SheEO magic that we created together. So on the count of 3, Teresa already has her thumb up. If anyone can share your enthusiasm, the experience we had today. 3, 2, 1. And then the second screen of Radically Generous Women. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And last but not least, if you can open up the link in the chat, we will once again end with our one-word checkout using the new tool. So one moment, I'll share my screen, but you can already open it up now to share. And let's see your one-word checkouts. Inspired. Excited. Welcoming. 4 people have shared their one-word checkout so far. Kind. So inspired, multiple responses, it's growing. Grateful. Yay. I feel that way too.
You can actually if you click on the chat at the bottom. If you've lost the link, go to the chat at the bottom of the screen, click on the chat, and then you can scroll back up to where Jessie put that Menti link in. So everyone that's written it.
Connected, energized, excited, Kiwi, connected and inspired or growing. Perfect.
That's so cool.
Love, energy, diverse, invigorated. Well, that's all for our call today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and we hope to see you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy day.